parrotlets get along with other species? Can you add, for example, a green-cheeked conure to your flock if you have a parrotlet? Hi, I'm Kaylin, the author of the Parrot Bliss Bond. Please be sure to get your copy so you have your handbook to creating bliss, at least more bliss, with your parrot. And if you love trying to increase your bliss, if you love learning about your parrot, if you want to enjoy my adventures as I learn, grow, and get nibbled on with my flock, then please consider subscribing. So, in this video, we're talking about parrotlets. Now, this is my Raindrop, who I am in love with. My Raindrop is so cute, and she's so little. I'm very fortunate. I'm so grateful. Not for the nibbling. I'm so grateful. I have the second smallest species in the Psittacine whole scientific family kind of thing. Psittacine meaning parrot. I also have the second largest. I have a macaw. So one thing that's really cool is, like, I've seen the gamut, right? It's really neat. I have experienced a 30-gram parrot and a 1,000-gram parrot. What a difference, right? I mean, that's phenomenal. I love it. So as you can see, parrots are my bliss. Now, this nibbler, this little nibbler, would I consider giving her another species? Well, here's the thing about it. One thing that's really interesting is parrotlets are said to have really big personalities in a little body. I translate that as parrotlets have a Napoleon complex. They're, if you've seen the movie Aladdin, when Aladdin's talking about his big cosmic power in itty bitty living space, you know, he's talking about how he's got this big cosmic power, the genie, right? But it's confined to this little lamp. And I swear, I think that's what creation ouch did to the parrotlet. Hey, why are you nibbling? Here, go here, go here, go here. There. Because they've got these monster personalities. So I get a little nervous letting my parrotlets be around my other birds. On the one hand, smaller birds have the ability to navigate, like fly all over the place. My parrotlets remind me of hummingbirds because sometimes I can hear their wings kind of humming, and sometimes they kind of hover a little bit. Probably not as much as a hummingbird, but they just have so much power and what's the stealth? No, that's not the right word. When they fly, they can just go zip, zip, zip. And so I know that they can kind of get away from a bird quickly and easily. However, man, all it takes is like one bite from a bigger bird, you know, and so I do get uncomfortable. My parrotlets are separate from the rest of my flock because the number one rule in my house is everybody needs to be safe. All of the feathers, all of the people. No feathers are allowed to be mean to the people. No people are allowed to be mean to the feathers, not that that's a problem. And no feathers are allowed to be mean to the other feathers. So the same is kind of true for the green-cheeked conures. Green-cheeked conures are not quite the Napoleon complex birds because they're bigger. Not huge, but they're bigger. What are you saying? She's chitter-chattering at me. But green-cheeked conures, they can be aggressive. Some can be shy. Some can be sweet. Some can be bitey. Just like people, there's like all sorts of things, right? You have the full gambit of from this extreme to that extreme. And the same is true of parrotlets. So one problem with adding another bird to your parrotlet flock is you have to kind of get lucky with their personalities, which is probably true anytime you're adding two parrots together, even when they're the same species, although generally speaking, when they're the same species, it's less of a problem. So would I bring a green-cheeked conure in to be buddies with a parrotlet? I would certainly keep them in their own cages. Otherwise I don't feel like they could necessarily be safe. When I have separate species, generally speaking, I don't put them in the same cage. Separate species means different cages, generally speaking. There's always exceptions, but it's just like, I think more than 9 times out of 10, maybe 95 times out of 10, Different species, different cages. But there's exceptions. I have a friend who her Parrotlet and her black-capped conure, they're like BFFs. Now, black-capped conures are, or is it cape? They are a little smaller than Greencheeks, just a wee bit, but that, you know, and that means they're just a little closer in size to the Parrotlet. Greencheeked conures are going to be around like 70 grams, something like that. A Parrotlet is around 30 grams. And so the Greencheek is a little more than double their size, so I'm guessing, I don't really know the weight for a black cap or cape, but it's, you know, it might be 10 grams less, I don't know. So they're about double the size. So you kind of, so they're a little closer in size. But I think the way to really find out is to do the following. If you decide to add the Greencheeked conure, then, or any other parrot, then you make sure that they have their own cages, and you make sure to give them time together, but in a common space where both of them can run away if they want to. They could go fly away, they can hide, they can go and be safe. And you let them come together or not on their own terms, within their own comfort, that kind of thing, always while you're supervising. Because, you know, otherwise little guys, they do have a disadvantage, right? They're little. So, you know, nobody bothers my macaws, whereas everybody else, you know, they have to be aware. They watch. Even my macaws, though, everybody watches to make sure that no one's going to bother them. And even a bird flying by outside that they just see flash by in the window, they're like, what's that? And then they're on guard. So just be careful, just really watch, make sure that you have personalities that you think are going to match. If you have a sweet, friendly Parrotlet, I don't know if this one would qualify, then they might be amiable to mixing with another species. And if you have a sweet, friendly Greencheeked conure, they might be amiable and they might be great friends. But it really just so depends. And you have to be prepared to have two birds that you can't let out at the same time and that you just keep in two different cages. It seems unlikely, like I would think you'd be able to let them out to fly around and it would be fine. Maybe not, maybe they won't be like this, but it should be fine. But you never know, you just never know. So, all right, thank you for joining me in this blissful video. Please be sure to catch the next one. If you have any questions about parrots, please be sure to comment below. I love your questions. I used to be a school teacher, so I don't think there's like a bad question. Catch you next time. Thanks for joining us.